Good evening, people. We got some proper raw material to be working on this evening. It was one of them bargain bench buys from the garden centre. It was dirt cheap. It was less than like £3, I think. £2.99. There was a reason for that, because it was almost dead. So where you can see in here, all this brown on the inside, that was last year's growth, and it just died off straight away. Fortunately though, I repotted it, put it in this bigger training plastic pot, and it has revived itself, which is good. It's not in the best of soils. It's in a very organic, dense soil, which hasn't been ideal for this particular species, I don't think. Now, when I mention species, I'm not quite sure what it is. It's either a Siberian cypress, apparently, or it could be a common juniper. I've got a common juniper, and it is slightly different. But having said that, because it suffered, a lot of the growth is very juvenile on the end, so it's not giving its full identity. It differs in different parts of the plant, which suggests it's a juniper, because junipers do that. But I'm not 100%, so don't quote me on it. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it is, to be honest. The main thing is it's alive, and it's in a position now where I'm just going to manipulate a couple of the trunk, or a couple of the branches off of the trunk down here. Give it a good clean up as well. Get rid of all this dead. Just tidy it up really. Because every time I look at it, it's hard to see what's going on, because there's so much dead in there. And it died immediately, all this in here. So yeah, it's tidy it up so I can have a good look inside. Okay, so I'll get my scissors and we'll just give it a bit of a tidy. I might put it on a time lapse at some stage, if I think that it's all a bit long-winded. It all depends on how long this takes. But when I do the editing on the video, let's just get in here with my fingers, it's a lot easier. Yeah, when I edit, I will make that decision. So if we jump to a time lapse, that is the reason. It's because it's taken longer than what I anticipated. But yeah, we're just going to go in and we're just going to get rid of all this dead. There are new shoots growing further in, which is a good sign. It's typical juniper or cypress, if it is a cypress, but they do go quite long and leggy if left. Now obviously we've got all this dead, which is not helping the situation, because that is going to create legginess, because it's just stuff on the ends that are alive. Oh, there's a few signs in here that things have new shoots on the end, but even that, they're on the ends, so you're off to a bad start straight away with it being a bit long and leggy. But we'll tidy up the best we can. So it's mainly so I can have a look, so I can have a clear view, because every time I look at it I don't get a true picture of what's actually going on, because, well, I say this has died off quite quick, so it did look like it was doing something, but obviously the tree has sacrificed all this inner stuff to put energy into the ends, that it's all kind of hidden and it's all a bit masked. So we'll just do the best we can, tidying it up, and then we'll just get some wire on it. Now I'm not quite sure how I'm going to style it. It does suggest that it's windswept, but I think we'll just have a play around. I think because the tree suffered, it has suffered in the past, I think what we'll do is we'll kind of let it do what it wants to do. We're not going to put it under too much stress. It's still young. There's not a massive trunk on it. There's hardly any trunk on it, to be fair. But this exercise is to kind of guide it into the future. And just give it a bit of love. Give it a bit of love. Because this tree was not loved for a long time. But he'll get there. He's going to get lots of love now. Not too much love though. You can over love a tree. Definitely. That's why you should always have more than one bonsai. If you're wondering what that is, I think it's a kitten playing with a dog toy. A squeaky toy. The most annoying thing ever invented. I probably won't keep all of these, but just by tidying it up, cleaning it up, I can get a better view, better idea what's going on. Right, I think apart from the odd needle, dead needle, I think we're almost there really. There's live stuff on the ends of all this when you actually get amongst it. Hello Nuki, I haven't seen you for a while. It's because it's not raining. You've been outside, haven't you? Probably want feeding, don't you? You're hungry. Hungry? Yeah. You're a sweetie, ain't you? Proper sweetie you are. It's been chaos this afternoon. Living kittens going mental. They got to that age now where they just think they rule the world. Bullying the other cats. And the dog as well. Poor dog. I wonder what's going on. Yeah, right, I think we're almost there really. Yeah, once you get in amongst it, you think a branch is dead, and then you feel to the end and there is green on the tips. Yeah, it's looking a little bit less cluttered. That's the word I'm looking for, cluttered. And there's nothing worse than being cluttered with dead stuff. Stuff you don't need, don't want. It's good. So yeah, he's a bit crazy. He's a bit of a mop, as they say. A bit of a mop. So I think what we'll do, I'll change the camera view and we'll come in. You can see the trunk in here. We'll come in and we'll wire some of these branches. And yeah, we'll probably wire them all. Best thing I always find, wire them all and then play around with it. Because you can guarantee if you don't wire one, you will need to manipulate it. So we'll do that. So bear with me, I'll change the camera view. Right, here's a better view of what's going on in there. So I'm having to give the cat a cuddle. She wants some loving. Nukes. Yeah. So it's quite an interesting shape. Reminds me of an apple tree, or sorry, apple tree. I'm always having a mick taken out of me for saying apple. It's a Devonshire thing. Yeah, a lot of apple trees around where I live in the orchards, they end up going like this because of the weight of obviously the apples, and they are manipulated as well. People say they're not, but they are, and the reason why they pulled the trees down is because it makes it easier for them to pick the apples or collect them. Apples, not apples. So yeah, it's quite an interesting shape. I was going to go for a windswept, but I think because of these two here, I think I might change my mind. I think I might go for something a little bit more, well, not necessarily upright, because this tree will never be upright unless I repot it in an upright position. But I think it'd be nice to have a division here. So obvious, very obvious at the minute, is this one here. I think we're going to get rid of this one. Two reasons. One, because it's too close to ground level, and also it's in line with this. It's too parallel. So, and I think just by bringing this over, I reckon we'd be able to get quite a bit of movement from this area where it comes off the trunk. I reckon if we get some heavy wire on there, we can really bring it down. It'd be nice for this tree to be quite low lying, quite compact, not necessarily layered, but more natural looking. So I think that's our approach. I think that's what we're going to be looking at. Definitely. Let me zoom in a bit more. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because where that one's coming out, I reckon we could bring it obviously towards the camera and bring it over in this direction. Yeah, okay, right, well, let's stop talking. Shut up, just get on with it. Right, okay, let's get some wire on it. Yeah, I was hoping to do this one in the other video that I did with the yew. That's it, the yew tree. It's looking quite nice, that yew tree. It didn't look so good on camera, I have to admit. But I think it's just because of the branches need to push out a little bit more foliage. And yeah, I don't know, not all trees look good on camera. Some trees look good on camera, some don't. That one particularly didn't. But in the flesh, it was actually, it does look quite nice. I think it's the taper of the actual trunk. I think it's kind of missed on camera. But up close, in person, yeah, the taper's really obvious. I think it just, yeah, does look quite good. But it's a young tree. It's got plenty more years of growth. Certainly more years of probably not so much manipulation but guidance. I don't normally position things until everything is wired, but there are scenarios where if it's all a bit busy, you can get things out of the way. It doesn't have to stay where you put it. It just makes life a lot easier for the next few branches that you wire. Put a bit of movement in this, pull it down. It's quite supple. How are we looking? Let's look at it from this angle. Yeah, so I've given it a little bit of bend to bring it in over this direction. Okay, right, I don't think we need any of these. So this is what I'm on about. So I don't prune a lot until I really see what's going on. Might want to keep them. Okay. Let's get rid of that. I think it turned out alright. I got exactly what I wanted. A really flat, wide canopy, not necessarily divided into pads. I just want this to look like a natural low-lying tree. And obviously these grow quite low to the ground anyway, so I think the whole growth of this tree will lend itself to the style. It's quite interesting. There's a load of branches on there that aren't going to stay. I mean, it's busy. It is busy in there. But it gives options for the future. It is kind of a very low-lying viewing point. Obviously, the higher you get, the more you just see the canopy. You don't see the trunk or the branches. But it will get changed in a different pot. A very elegant, slim pot. I think it will look quite nice. It will balance it out. As I say, it's just in its very early stages of being styled. But this is exactly what I was going to go for. We zoom in into the trunk. So you can see there is a lot going on in there. I did wonder about getting rid of this low one here, but I quite like it. I quite like the way it kicks down. And there's nothing to say that we can't get rid of a few of these. It is very congested in there. But at the minute, I think it's turned out alright. I think it looks quite nice. It's a style that I quite like. Reminds me of one of these trees on like an African plain or something. I haven't got many styles like this. I think that's, well, the main reason why I wanted to do something like this is because I haven't got a style like this. So I like to mix things up, make things interesting in my collection. So yeah, I think, yeah, all in all, it's turned out quite well. I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and hopefully see you on the next video. Take care.